Hey, it's Drew Bennett from benspark.com, and got my new Autobots jersey on that I got from Lootwear. You can see the video, yesterday's video was the Lootwear video where I reviewed my very first Lootwear bag, I guess, calling it unbagging. And today what I'm talking about is comics. I am so behind on my physical comics. I just went the other day and picked up a whole bunch of stuff. I am more into like the Transformers and a lot of the properties from the 80s. And right now, Hasbro is putting together this Hasbro Cinematic Universe, which is coming. And in the comic universe, we're starting to pull together all of the different comics. So you've got ROM, you've got Action Man, you've got G.I. Joe, you've got Transformers. There's going to be more in there. M.A.S.K is going to be part of it. Micronauts. I forget what else. There's a whole list of a bunch of things that are going to be part of this whole cinematic universe. So we got Transformers, Action Man. I know M.A.S.K is one of the Micronauts. Yeah, I guess I said them all. So I just read this one. I don't know where I'm at because honestly, I'm about a year and a half out from all the comics that I haven't read for Transformers. I just haven't had time to just sit down and read a physical comic book. I'll read a couple of the comics on Marvel Unlimited because I have it on my iPad. I read one before I go to sleep, and usually that just knocks me out, and I'd rather not fall asleep, pass out and drool on a comic book, a physical comic book. So I read a lot of the Marvel stuff on the app. Now, I mean, I still like to go and get physical comic books. I love to support my local comic shop, which is Wild Time Comics. I love those guys there, Randy and his family, nice people, and they're always so good to us. So I want to, continue to get physical comics too. So I get things like Gem of the Holograms for Eva. And then also My Little Pony, which is kind of more for me. And actually, I haven't read any of them. I watched the comics, the cartoons, and mostly I read Transformers. So I've got, another Transformers one here. This is all starting with their Revolution, which is the newest thing that's coming. Revolution is where all of these storylines and all of these different properties are starting to come together. And what I'm really excited about is the relaunch of M.A.S.K. I have the original run of M.A.S.K comic books from Marvel from years and years ago. Those were some that I really like. That actually put the M.A.S.K into perspective. I have the complete M.A.S.K series on DVD, and it is a mess. It doesn't start with a story or anything like that. The one that does actually start with a backstory and story is Gem and the Holograms. They actually have a good backstory, and there's a storyline throughout that whole series. Whereas M.A.S.K, it was a jumbled mess. But I remember it as a kid being cohesive, probably because I had the toys, and I had the comics, and I would watch the cartoons. I also watched and I sold my M.A.S.K toys. I shouldn't have sold my M.A.S.K toys. I sold them in college. I needed some money, so I sold them to one of the guys at school. And I loved having Gator. That was the Jeep that when you flipped it back, outshot a speedboat. I loved that one. And the guy, I think his name was Dusty, he drove that, and he had a boomerang thing mask. So one of my favorite guys. I loved Rhino. That was the big semi that had a battering ram. My Rhino broke, but that was a good one. And I hardly ever broke my toys, or my toys hardly ever broke on me. But that's I'm a child of the 80s. That's what I love. Those are things that I enjoy so much. Speaking of the 80s, today Andrew and I opened the Back to the Future level for Lego Dimensions, and that was a lot of fun playing through that level. It was really short though. That's something that I actually got from Warner Brothers Video Games. They sent that to me to review, which I'm going to actually do a full review. I really wanted to get that one open because then I can start opening all the rest of them that are over there. You can't see them here, but trust me, all the rest of them are there. And I picked up a container today to try to keep everything in order. Yeah, so Anyway, I'm going to get downstairs because we're going to watch the last episode of Bloodline for season 2. And I got to get to work on my vlog for today. I've been taking Andrew to karate. He's been doing okay, but he's got to work on the discipline and paying attention. He is spending a lot of time kind of goofing around, and I know he's gonna. He's a white belt, and they're going to train him and more and kind of point that out to him. But when he is told, he's usually good about it. But he's starting to get neat, do stuff with blocks and punches, and he enjoys it. So, or then he tells me he doesn't, and then he tells me he does. So after we go, he loves it. Before we go, he's like, but it's one of those kids. So anyway, this is Drew Bennett from BenSpark.com. You can find me on Instagram as BenSpark, Twitter as BenSpark, at Facebook.com/I'mNotAFamousBlogger, and you can find me here because I do videos every day for 2016. Thanks for watching.